Hello, today we're looking at the algebraic representation of vectors. Okay, so we're asked to sketch the following. Okay, so that should be interesting. The first thing we're asked to sketch is the plane through y equals -3 parallel to the xz plane. Okay, all right, let's start with that. We need some space to do some of these drawings. So first what we need to do is we need to draw our axes in our three-dimensional space, or our three. Okay, so why don't we do that right? Let's do that right here. There, and there. Okay, let's label our axes Z, Y, and X. Okay, so the plane through y equals -3 and parallel to the YZ plane. Now we got to decide which direction is positive and which direction is negative. So I'm going to take this as the positive y direction, and this is a negative y direction. So this is going to be our -3. Similarly, if we go upwards, that's our positive z direction. If we go outwards or towards us, that's a positive x direction. And right in the middle is our origin. Okay, so we want a plane going through there, through y equals -3, but parallel to the xz plane. So it's gonna look something, this green plane, it's gonna look something like this. It's almost like a wall. So if the xz plane is a wall, that's vertical, so maybe one wall in your room, then this green plane, so y equals -3, is parallel to this first wall, so it's a wall on the opposite side of the room. Okay, so that takes care of A. Now B, the line going through x equals 2 and z equals 1. All right, so let's draw some axes again. Let's do it over here. So looks like we're only dealing with the positive. We're not looking at, okay, let's do that. So we don't really need the negative parts of the axes, but we'll put them in anyway. So Z, X, and Y. Again, positives coming out towards us on the X axis, and positive Z axis is going upwards, and positive Y is going towards the right, and right in the middle where they all intersect is the origin. Okay, so we need a line that goes through the value x equals 2 and through the value z equals 1, so those two red points. So let's join those 2 points up. So that's our line. That line lives in the xz plane. Very good. So that's part B. All right, so now let's look at part C. The plane x equals 4. Okay. All right, so where should we do that? Let's do that right here, just below. Again, we're going to draw our axes. We always want to start with that. Oh, wrong color. Oh, although there's no rule, the axes have to be black. Good. Okay. All right, so now let's label our axes so we know what we're doing. Okay, and let's put some markers in. Again, positive direction along the z-axis is upwards, positive direction along the y-axis is going right, positive direction for the x-axis is coming out towards us, and right in the middle where they intersect is the origin. So we're looking, so what are we looking for? The plane x equals 4. All right, so this is x equals 4. Let's use another color. Okay, That means our plane goes through this point x equals 4, and it's going to be parallel. Well, it's not telling us if it's parallel to the YZ axis or not. That means there are many planes going through x equals 4. Why don't we just choose one? So I'm going to choose the one, for simplicity's sake, that is parallel to the YZ plane. But really, we can take any plane. So it can be a rotation of any plane. So let me see if I can draw another one through that point x equals 4. For example, this purple plane is also through that point x equals 4, and it also intersects the blue plane in a line. So there are many planes that go through the point x equals 4. All right, so that's part C. And let's scroll over here and look at the last one. The line that is the intersection of y equals -1 and x equals 3. Okay. All right, so again, what do? We start with drawing our axes. So let's do that here. Let's give ourselves a bit more space. It doesn't look quite straight. Let's label our axes, Z, Y, X, and okay, so we need to mark off positive and X directions of our axes. Let's do that. Negative. So positive direction for our y-axis is towards the right. Negative is towards the left. Positive direction for the x-axis is towards us. Negative away. Upwards is the positive direction for the z-axis, and down is negative, and right where all these axes, these three axes intersect is our origin. Okay, so let's have a look. So we're looking for a line that's the intersection of two planes. So the first plane is y equals -1. Y equals -1. So there's y equals -1. Whoops. We need to find that plane. So I'm going to say it's this plane right here. Okay. So that red plane parallel to the xz plane. So what's the other plane? X equals 3. So let's pick another color. X equals 3 right here. Our second plane has to go through that. Go through that green point. Where is it? There you go. Oh, actually, there. Okay. So they meet right here. There's our green plane. Let's label that. X equals 3. Our red plane is y equals -1. And they intersect in some line, some vertical line, this purple vertical line. So we'll make it a little thicker so we can see it. Right there. Good. All right. So that takes care of part D. Good. So these visualizations are a little tricky at first, but once you get the hang of them, it's not too bad. Always start with drawing your axes, X, Y, and Z axes, and go from there. Let's look at the next question. So the points A and B are located at the same point in R3. What are the values of A, B, and C? Okay, interesting question. Well, they're telling us that A and B are equal. So let's plug in the points and compare the coordinates and see what we get. So if these 2 points are equal, that means their coordinates have to equal. So 5 equals A, B equals -3, and C equals 8. Good. That's not too difficult. So plot the following points. All right. So again, we need to draw our axes. So why don't we do that? Z-axis, Y-axis, and X-axis. Let's put our little, let's label them Z, Y, and X. Let's mark off the positive and negative directions along each axis. Okay, and where they all intersect is the origin. So I'm just going to put in a few values so that we have something to work with when we're plotting. I'm sure you can do a much nicer job. All right. Okay, now let's pick a different color for each. So A, X coordinate is 1, Y and Z coordinates are 0. So it looks like we're right here. That's our A. Let's pick another color. So B is 0, -2, 0. So 0 along the x-axis, -2 in the y direction, and 0 in the z. So we're right here. That's B. Let's pick another color for C. So C is 0, 0, -3. So 0 along the x-axis, 0 along the y-axis, but -3 in the z direction. Okay, and last one, let's go with yellow. So D is yellow, 2, 3, 0. So 2 in the x direction, 3 in the y direction, and 0 in the z. So right there. Good. So should we label that one? Yeah, why don't we do that? So that one is 2, 3, 0. Good. Not too difficult. Again, just draw your axes and label them, and then just plot your point. First coordinate is X, Y, third is Z. Good, so that brings us to the end of our session today. If you have any questions, send us a note at info@raisebedmarks.com or give us a call day or evening, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. All right, thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you again.